guys doing?
Building something.
What are you doing, Dot?
I'm building something.
What are you doing?
Helping.
Trip's helping too?
Yeah.
You helping?
He's
When things break, you just got to use cheap labor. Right now I am at the entrance from the garage into my house, and that's kind of where everything starts because as you can see here, that way is the house, but this way is where my office actually is. So there's good separation between the actual house and where the kids usually are, and then where I am focused with trading and all the other stuff I have going on. So let's go. I'll give you a tour here. This right here is important when you have kids and they're young. Sometimes they want to come in and that's fine, but what distracts me is when they're banging on the door and you can just hear them out there. So then I feel guilty and then I let them in, and then production levels kind of go down. But this, when you stick it in the hallway here, prevents them from getting to the door. So that way I don't hear any banging and I don't feel guilty about anything. So it just kind of works out. Credit goes to my wife. She's the one that kind of figured out this solution. And see, so how can you say no to that? So, and then this, I don't know what this is, Nate. I got to put that together though, right?
Yeah, on video.
Yeah, so Nate wants me to put this together on video because it'll be a total disaster, but I don't think that's going to happen. So don't trip over Trip, okay? So let's go down the hallway here. And this is the actual office. And usually the door right here is covered with handprints and slobber prints, but I cleaned it down. So I guess this is kind of fake in the sense of usually this door is a lot dirtier than what it is, but whatever. So come on in. So right now there are kids behind me playing and figures we need to make a video, and they literally got that out of the toolbox, but they're kind of loud. They're asking lots of questions, so let's just get them out of the way. All right, now that it is quieter in here, let's get on with the tour. So this kind of it serves as two purposes, an office and then kind of a studio, because this is where I do a lot of the video. So the video part of things is pretty much over here. This is where we store everything for them, and we have all this stuff. These right here though, the monitors, I just got a new computer not that long ago. In fact, down below this video, Nate, who's holding the camera right now, did a big building video on how we build it, all the components of it. So if you're interested in that, just click on that video. But anyways, over here you can see all the stuff that goes into the videos, and this is where we store it. So yes, we're in the office, but this is kind of the studio portion of the office, if you will. And then we have all this open space, and this is where usually things get set up. And then this is the whiteboard right here, where everything, where I stand in front of, and kind of behind the scenes. Around the edge, this is what you usually can't see, but this is where I take notes. So if an idea comes up, oh, that'd be good for a video, I'll just grab a marker and write it around the outside, because I know that when the video is being done, only a certain amount is being taken. So that is the whiteboard where everything is recorded. And then just straight across the way are the windows here. So this is, right now, yeah, it's a good view, but fall time, definitely the best view when all the leaves change. I am in Michigan, so we get the full autumn of leaf changes. So that's probably the best time of year for the view. But yeah, right now it's solid. Winter time can also be really pretty with all the snow and stuff. So, but yeah, I really like the windows, and they definitely give kind of a good peaceful vibe. And peace and quiet, when you're trying to trade and just think, always a good thing to have. So over here we have the table here, and the table really has nothing to do with ClayTrader or anything like that, but I do have a gun channel that Nate and I started. So ClayTrader guns, if you're interested. But this is what we use a lot for that, when you're cleaning the gun or just kind of unboxing them. And somebody made this actually from my church, one of the youth group members. It was only like 150 bucks, but the wood's made from he was telling me, a barn on his property that's like 100 years old, just crazy stuff. And he did a really good job in building it. I would give his information, but I don't know if he's wanted to do this as a business or he was just helping me out. But good solid table, and this is what is used for that. So this is always floating around the office whenever we need to use it for anything. So over here on the gun note is the safe, and yeah, I can open it up here. I knew I would be opening it. So there's inside the safe. If you're interested in kind of seeing what the collection contains, then I could definitely do a separate video of that. So I'll leave that up to you as viewers, I guess in the comment section or below. If you're somebody that would be interested in a safe tour, if you will, then you can check that out. And then up here, just some various memorabilia that all has some sort of meaning. And I guess I'm not going to go into all that now, but if you're curious, hey Clay, what's the meaning behind all that? Then maybe that's another idea for a video, but I'm not offended if you really don't care. I did go to Ohio State and graduated from there, so that's kind of one of the newest additions, but I find that pretty cool. So we'll walk around this way, and here you can see again some windows, the outdoor view there. And here just some pictures of my family and little arts and crafts, which reminds me, looking at this, I should probably update those because here there's only 2 kids, but now I have 4 kids. So yeah, updating needs to be done. So over here we have the closet and nothing. This is kind of where I just throw everything. So you have a bunch of stuff in there. And then over here, you have some real estate stuff because I do real estate investing. So it's really kind of like a catch-all for everything business stuff, real estate stuff. So anything else no, I don't see anything too exciting in there. I should note this, the camera guy. See, this is how cool Nate is. What are these called? Growlers?
Yeah.
Growler. So if you're ever in West Michigan, Perrin, and you like craft beer, I would definitely go there. Full disclosure, we're not being compensated for that plug. But hey, maybe we can work something out. So nothing too exciting there. So maybe you noticed that all of a sudden I now have on a white t-shirt. I promise this is not some sort of sales pitch to now get you to want to buy this t-shirt. This t-shirt is old school. It's not even available anymore. But apparently I'm kind of nervous to do this. It is a little warm outside and I started to sweat. And I can already see the people in the comment section right now, ew, look at all that sweat, you disgusting pig. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna change shirts. And yeah, maybe it makes the video look a little goofy, but hey, I'll just be honest. I was getting sweaty, it started to sweat through, and I don't wanna gross people out. So I'm trying to be considerate here. On that note, as far as what I'm wearing right now, this is what I wear every day. I have some basketball shorts on. I'm sure you already kind of noticed that. But as my wife pointed out, I'm actually kind of being disingenuous when I say this is what I wear every day, because most of the time she's like, you're walking around in your underwear, and that is kind of true. So, but I figured I probably shouldn't be that genuine because I don't want this video to get flagged by YouTube, and then that would defeat the whole purpose. So, but yeah, when you work from home, when you're your own boss, you dictate the dress code. And the only reason I even have a ClayTrader shirt on right now is because after this, we're going to be making our normal videos that you've seen on the channel, assuming you're a subscriber. So that's why I have the ClayTrader. It's not like this is standard uniform or anything like that. We just are kind of killing a lot of birds with one stone. But that is why the shirt is a different color. And this is, yeah, definitely what I wear every day, kind of, for the purpose of YouTube. So let's get to my desk here and computer. So this is my setup, 4 27-inch 4K monitors. So this is what I'm looking at. I have a video on this, I will put that link below, in terms of what are my thoughts on multiple monitors. Do you need 4 27-inch monitors? I don't know, maybe. But like I said, if you're curious on my thoughts on that, that video is down below. But the cool part here is kind of the customization, namely, the wood surface here. So this is real wood, and Nate's dad made it. And you can definitely get custom wood online, but it's a lot more expensive than what I paid for this. So if you know a local carpenter or something of that nature, or maybe just go out and hunt if you want the custom wood desk, then my guess would be you can definitely get a lot cheaper than what you get online. So that's kind of the first cool part of the desk. Second cool part, down here you can see that, can you get that, Nate? So Nate, you can talk. This is a vlog.
I'll talk.
You can talk. This is not, you don't have to, he's sitting there going, it's like, relax. This is not your first vlog. We're supposed to be having a good time. So that is where the computer is actually hid, down there. And Nate set all this up for me. I have no passion at all for technology and setting stuff like this up, but Nate likes it, does a good job with it. So I figured, why not just let him do that. Over here, printer, and I definitely got a point here to bring this about. If you have any sort, oh, it's not gonna fit, there we go. if you have any sort of need to scan stuff or anything, I'll put a link to this below because it's that good. But the Fujitsu ScanSnap S1500 is awesome. This is for all my real estate stuff when you're buying or selling or working with the bank, whatever, and you need to scan something, you just put it in, it scans it automatically to a PDF file. It is awesome. And so yeah, if you are in real estate or just any sort of thing where you need to scan stuff quickly and a lot of documents, that's the thing. Printer here again for real estate if you need to print stuff out. But yeah, I've had this printer for, I don't know, probably about 5 years now, maybe even longer. Still working like a champ, so good job to Dell. So, and then the last part, I've done a video on this. There's the power. You getting that, Nate? Mm-hmm. Are you too good to talk to the viewers?
I am too good.
You just say mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So that I've done a whole video on that too. We'll put that link down below. But it's super, super important if you want to be, and if you consider yourself a serious trader, because that is a massive insurance policy. So now for the cool stuff. Maybe you've noticed I've been standing. Well, yeah, I'd say I do have a time. If I'm being honest, at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time every single day, the magic happens. Oh, I should probably notice this too. So here's the mic for the podcast, for the video charts I do. So yeah, it just clamps on there, and you can swing it around, all that sort of good stuff. So, and then there's a little Buckeye here hanging. This was my grandpa's, and again, I graduated from Ohio State, so this was his. But after he passed away, this was one of the things that I was like, hey, I'll take that. So I always hang that right there. My grandpa, he was a great guy. But anyways, now back to this part right here. So at 3:45 Eastern time, come over here. You ready for this? An uplift. So uplift is who makes the desk part that you're about to see the magic happen. But the top part did not come from uplift. That just came from somebody else. But here we go. 3:45, I click that. And then the magic starts. And then as the magic starts, I move this thing out of the way. This is the standing mat. I promise it's not dramatic. I honestly thought it was when I first got the standing desk. And literally a couple of days later, my back was hurting, my feet were hurting. And it was because, I don't know how the human body works, but you needed some sort of shock absorber. So I bought this, and that took care of it. So if you're going to do a standing desk, definitely get some sort of shock absorber, especially on Amazon. I don't know what they're priced, but it was well worth the price. So I throw that over there, and then I slide the chair. I won't do it, but I got my chair right here, and I slide that in, and then I take a seat. So as you saw, from a standing desk to a sitting desk. Reason I went standing, I was just, you sit in your chair and you start to slouch and you start to get in funky positions. And as a trader, as somebody that you're in your desk a lot, my back was just, and even, with working out. But, I talked to some people in the community who'd have standing desks, switched over to that. And wow, it has made a difference. And, there's some people out there that, sitting is like the new cancer, whatever these claims are. I don't know if it's quite that bad. I don't know if it's quite that serious. But I will say, if you're on the fence about maybe trying a standing desk, I would say at least give it a try. So desk, monitors, I think I covered everything here. And that really kind of wraps up what I have going on in here. Nothing too fancy, but it serves its purpose as the studio for the videos, and then, peaceful. And then this is the actual trading rig here. Like I said, if you want more details on the computer and all that sort of stuff, just watch that video that Nate put together as he built this new computer, and you can get all the components and stuff like that are a part of it. So thank you for coming on the tour with me. Any sort of questions or maybe requests, like I said, if you want me to give a tour of the safe or the memorabilia and kind of the stories behind it, I mean, I could do something like that too. I'm always open for ideas. But as far as the office, yeah, this is where I spend a whole lot of my time. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you would like me to keep making more vlogs and you had a good time, easiest way to communicate that to me is click that like button, subscribe to the social media, which you can see on the screen right now, and I will see you back next week.